If we're gonna talk bad boys, it only makes sense I'd wear the shirt of wrestling's resident bad boy. My name is Ren, and this is my review of Bad Boys Ride or Die. Welcome back, film family. Thank you for joining me as we discuss the fourth and latest installment in the Bad Boys franchise. A franchise that not only exponentially propelled the cinematic careers of Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, but has now existed for nearly 30 years since 1995. So, when their former late captain is implicated in corruption, Miami's finest Mike Lowrey and Mark Burnett have to work to clear his name, only to end up on the run themselves. And before this review even properly gets started, we must address the elephant in the room. Oh, wow! No, not that. Even though this movie does slap, I mean, why would you name the third movie in your franchise Bad Boys for Life, knowing damn well you were going to make a fourth one, Sony? I shall never forgive you for this, and my OCD will never be able to accept it. But what it can accept is that Bad Boys for Life is a rollicking good time. Big laughs, loud gasps, and applause erupted all throughout my press screening. The crowd was so into this movie. This is the kind of summer blockbuster you want to see surrounded by people react and loudly share the experience. There is one sequence in this film that is not only so good in the way that it is shot, in the way that it is choreographed, but it earned applause from our audience. It's the sequence highlighting the character of Reggie. You will know what the sequence is once you see it. In general, I don't have nostalgia towards the Bad Boys franchise. I have seen them all. I enjoy them all to different degrees, but Bad Boys Ride or Die might just be my favorite in the franchise. When Bad Boys for Life came out, I had no big expectations, and it ended up being my favorite in the franchise before seeing this new one. Watching the trailers for Bad Boys Ride or Die, it felt so messy, like too much was happening, but they combined all these story elements so well, they converge so naturally, and it combines all those great story elements and personal stakes of the last one that the directors bring to this story with the insane, over the top, rollicking, frenetic action set pieces of Bad Boys 2. It brings the bayham to the action sequences in this film, and that's what I've always gravitated to. I understand that for many people, it can feel a little bit like Fast and Furious, and we all have made those jokes just with the title alone, but this film manages to keep itself mostly grounded, apart from how explosive, on a literal sense, the action can be. And even if you're not into the adrenaline-fueled, frenetic, and let's face it, there's no better way to describe it other than bombastic Michael Bay style of action, the identity of this franchise is and has always been Will Smith and Martin Lawrence and their banter, which is hilarious and so endlessly entertaining. This could very well be the first Bad Boys movie you watch, and you will just understand how long these guys have been friends and have been working together. Believe me, the movie gets pretty ridiculous with both these characters. In one instance, Martin Lawrence not believing he can die throughout this film, which is very funny, but it really tests your patience at points. And Will Smith sort of feeling directionless at points until he reunites with his son. That is a plot line picked up from the last movie that I really enjoyed that they continued. That is the through line, and it helps for the stakes to feel more personal with these characters because it not only escalates throughout this film, but it escalates from where we've been before. And at this point, this is a franchise that really delivers in allowing us to experience life and seeing where these characters are through different chapters in their life. And if you love Bad Boys, if you've been watching them from the beginning, there's something so joyous and wholesome about that. But it really is that chemistry that keeps you seated and keeps you entertained throughout the 1 hour 55-minute runtime of this film that never feels long, never drags at all. But it does feature a familiar plot. I don't think any person has ever gone to see Bad Boys for the unique plot or story decisions. This is a familiar plot we've seen a million times. Good policemen get accused of corruption and get chased by their own people. We've seen it 1,000 times before. There is no surprise in terms of story or plot in here that will catch you off guard. You can see it all coming, but it's effective in its storytelling. This film gets really creative, but also as obvious as it can be. It sets up everything so clearly and then pays it off in satisfying ways. I urge, if you can, to see this in a packed crowd. This is not a Dune. This is not a Challengers. This is not a movie that you need to see on the biggest screen with the best sound, with the best visuals. But it is a movie you want to see surrounded by strangers and having that big screen shared experience with a big bucket of popcorn. Because, like I said before, this movie slaps. Oh, wow! Yes, to many of you, that joke is old, but I had to do it. Plus, Will Smith does slap people in this film, so it's just a reminder. And we do see a lot of Martin Lawrence's tongue, almost like it's one of the stars of the film. You'll understand when you see it. So before I dive into my final thoughts on Bad Boys Ride or Die, it's time for you to start the conversation about it in the comments below. Let me know your favorite Bad Boys movie. Where do you want to see the franchise go next? If you want to see another one, and rank the franchise so far in the comments below. If you want to see other reviews so far from this year, here's my reviews of 2024, and I've also reviewed, of course, Bad Boys for Life, which is the third movie, not the fourth movie. Let it go, Ren. Or, if you want to talk more movies and TV with me, this is the place to be. Consider clicking that subscribe button, and you won't miss any future conversations on your favorite movies and TV. Bad Boys Ride or Die is, for better or worse, the greatest hits of the franchise. It has inventive gunfights, insane banter, and a great dose of sun-soaked Miami brotherly love, perfectly contrasting its newly found grounded story and personal stakes with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's insane chemistry and, of course, Bayhem-inspired action. I'm giving Bad Boys Ride or Die a B. Thank you so much for watching, Film Family. Remember to start the conversation about Bad Boys Ride or Die in the comments below. Is it your favorite film in the franchise? Your least favorite? Anything and everything down there. Big shout out to my channel members for always supporting the channel. And I'll be back very soon. More videos, including my coverage of The Boys Season 4. So until the next one, love each other and love the movies.